Hi everyone, welcome back to Manatee Local. This week we're going to go over the weekly project list and the public hearing notices. These are the ways that we get a heads up about projects that are up for approval and that have been worked on by the staff. These projects will be going before the Planning Commission before they go before the Board of County Commissioners for approval. Now, there's usually a couple of weeks, maybe I think around a month of lag time between the Planning Commission meetings and the BCC meetings. So just keep aware of the timelines here. We're only going to have about 10 days notice before quasi-judicial items and significant items, according to the new priorities from Commissioner Cruz. And it's not great, but it's better than nothing. You know, communities have to pay attention and really stay on top of this stuff so that they can get their input together and make it legally sufficient, especially in the quasi-judicial matters. Okay, so the project list. So these items that come out on the project list don't necessarily have a hearing date attached to them. So you're not going to find out the first day that it's going to be before the Planning Commission just yet. But it's at least a heads up so you can see what's coming and how you need to start gathering information so that you can present it to the Planning Commission before it goes before the Board of County Commissioners. So how do you find this page? Okay, so from mymanatee.org, you would go to the Government tab and go to Development Services. And from there, you find the section for the Planning Commission committees and agendas. And here is the weekly project list. You can click on that. So once you get to this page, you can look at all the projects that were announced for back to October 2022, when Carol Feltz, as a citizen, managed to heckle the board into putting this thing onto the website, which is a nice, easy archive. And thank you, Carol, now Commissioner Carol Feltz. Okay, so for January 25, the last published list came out January 6th. So it's not a whole lot of stuff here. Let's click on it anyway. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So you can see, these are projects that were working their way through between December 29th and January 4th. And so, yeah, so there's going to be a bunch of stuff here. So you can see the project numbers are here, and then what kind of case it is. So all of these are administrative. So we've got like a page and a half, and these are not quasi-judicial items. So these are not as urgent as some of the other stuff, but they're still important. Okay, so you can go into the system and find the project. You've got the address, you have parcel numbers, and there are some quirks with the system about finding the actual maps, but you can always go to the property appraiser and use the parcel number to find a map of anything that you're looking for. Okay, so all these are administrative, quasi-judicial. You will be able to submit written comments ahead of a quasi-judicial item, but on the day of, you have to be sworn. It's a weird thing, but it is what it is. The public is still allowed to comment, but in person in the hearing, it's all sworn testimony, so you have to be there physically in person. They do not allow call-in comments for quasi-judicial items. Okay, so yeah, not a whole lot here from January 6th, but there, all administrative. Okay, all right, you get the idea. Okay, you can go back and look in there into the archives and see what kinds of stuff is coming up for recent items. Okay. Okay, once the projects are in the pipeline, we need to find out when the hearings are going to happen. Now, they're going to go before the Planning Commission first, before going before the Board of County Commissioners. How do you find out the public hearing dates? Well, you can get it emailed to you, but there's also an archive here on the website. This archive is under the BCC meeting and agendas section. So you go to government, BCC meetings and agendas. You can get through it through the Board of County Commissioners, but this sub menu here, BCC meetings and agendas, is where you find this particular section. And under that, then you click public hearing notices, and that will bring you to this page. If you don't want to have to do that regularly, sign up for an email. At the bottom of this page, there's a form here to request public hearing notices. You click on that link, it'll pop open a new window, and you can fill out the form, and you can have notices whenever they update the schedule for public hearings, and it'll come right to your inbox. Individuals and organizations can sign up for that. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Planning Commission first here. In January, we've got a number of different projects. You can see the project numbers. They correspond to what's on the weekly project list. So you can check those out, see if they're relevant to you, and provide public comment. You can do written comments online, but now there's no deadline for public comment. So you can submit them all the way up until, I guess, the day before. So that's handy now. Thanks, Commissioner Cruz, for changing that, getting rid of that deadline. And you can also call in. Call-in comments are not available, however, on quasi-judicial items. So that's because in that quasi-judicial hearing, it's sworn testimony. You have to be present to be sworn in. You can't be sworn in over the phone. So it won't count. So you have to be physically present if you want to comment in person. If you want to comment on a quasi-judicial item without using the write-in comments ahead of time. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Anything legislative or administrative is free game. All right. So the Planning Commission section is here, but we also want to go to the Board of County Commissioners section up here. I have it open here for January 2025. It has everything in January, but 2 of those meetings have already passed, and there's a number of items here that people might be interested in. So there's a change in the zoning that's here. There's a change to the code regarding accessory dwelling units or ADUs, some comprehensive plan amendments that are here. So check these things out, pay attention to what's going on in your community. Okay, if we can't just let them do whatever, that's how we got overdeveloped to begin with. So, all right, any questions, leave a comment, send me a message, email me, and I'll be happy to help. Like, share, and subscribe to stay informed, and also make sure that your neighbors stay informed. Thanks, and have a great day.